There is exactly 1 month and 1 day until the NFL draft. And while the Commanders have had a very busy offseason, these are my top 5 takeaways from what we have seen. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Full Command Show. My name is Grant Mitchell. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope that you all are having a tremendous weekend so far. Really excited to sit down and talk to you all about this video here today, where I am going to go over my top 5 takeaways from the Commanders offseason thus far. Posted a video earlier today, sat down with a wide receiver expert by the name of Cam White, where we talked about the strengths, the weaknesses, the best receiver in this class, and ultimately who would be the best fit for the Commanders if they end up going receiver at 7. Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, or Mekhi Lemon. If you guys didn't see that video, I suggest to you, I think you should go check it out. I mean, it was a really fun video. I found it very instructive and informative, and Cam was just a cool dude overall. So if you guys want some draft content, definitely go check that out. In this video, like I said, it's about the offseason up until this point. So while there is a month left until the NFL draft, and there is still a lot to discuss as far as who makes the most sense for the Commanders, who is the best prospect, again, we've already seen quite a lot happen with this team so far. So we are going to be talking about that in this video here today. But before we get to that, make sure you guys hit the like and the hype buttons if you are enjoying the content here on the channel. That is the #1 way that you can support me. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join the growing community. I can confirm that the winner of the custom painted Commanders helmet giveaway, which I did when I hit 5,000 subscribers, I can confirm that that individual has received the helmet. I'm sure you guys are seeing the clips and the pictures up on your screen right now. First and foremost, if you guys want any sorts of products like this for yourself, go to AT Airbrushing on TikTok and you will be able to see all the different things that he has in store for you over there. It's just, this stuff is awesome. I'm probably going to end up ordering something for myself one day, but I'm just too busy caught up in the giveaways right now. But again, shout out to AT Airbrushing and congratulations to the winner of the giveaway. I bring this up again, A, to prove that this was legit and you guys can all see it. Again, AT Airbrushing, go check him out. But I also am doing another giveaway here on the channel. Another giveaway. If I hit 6,000 subscribers before the NFL draft, then whoever the Commanders select in the first round, assuming that they take one guy, if they trade back and they end up with multiple picks, then we're going with the guy who they take first. I'll just make it simple. If I hit 6,000 subscribers before the NFL draft, then the first player drafted by the Commanders, I will buy a jersey of that player and I will send it to one of you all out there. So very simple, 2 things you got to do. Subscribe to the channel and join the Full Command Discord, link at the top of the description. That's where I pull the names for the giveaway from. So if you want a chance, go check it out there. And shout out to the boys in the Discord for giving me that idea. As we go through this video, whatever thoughts and opinions you guys might have on my takeaways, feel free to let me know. And if you have separate takeaways that I don't mention, then please throw it down there. I'll be excited to read your guys' thoughts and opinions. So let's start it off with #1.
They trust Bill.
And the other young guys, I'll put that in parentheses. They trust Bill and they want to see more of the other young guys. That's the second half of it. They never seem to really give much consideration to going after one of these top of the market free agent running backs. Travis Etienne was out there. Kenneth Walker was out there. There were some other people as well. They brought in Rachaad White, and he's going to add a lot to the passing game, whether that's him receiving out of the backfield, whether that's him being a screen artist, whether that's pass protection. He's going to contribute to this team. He will also run the football a little bit, but they never really looked to bring in true competition for who is the running back on first and second down. They're giving that to Bill. Now, if they go to the NFL draft and they take Jeremiah Love, that obviously changes the math on this. But with where I'm at right now, even if Jeremiah Love is on the board for the Commanders, you guys know that I say this here on the channel all the time, I don't think they're going to end up taking him. I think they're going to look to a Sonny Styles, a Caleb Downs, a Carnell Tate, a Ruben Bain, a David Bailey. I think someone at those quote-unquote more valuable positions on a dollar-for-dollar basis, not saying having a good running back isn't valuable, but just dollar-wise, I think they would look at one of those guys, which means they are entrusting what has been a top 5 rushing attack the Commanders have had for the last 2 years. Might not always seem like it, but when you factor in the quarterback and the running back's ability to run, yeah, the Commanders are one of the better teams in the NFL, and they are willing to hand those responsibilities of the lead back over to Bill Croskey-Merritt. So very impressive that a 7th-round pick who did 6 years of college and only got to play 1 game in his final year of college, very impressive that he has earned this nod of confidence from the Commanders front office and coaching staff. But last year, Bill, I mean, he got to 800 yards while being phased out of the lineup for 2 months, basically. 4.6 yards per carry, really good advanced numbers. I don't think he finished the season this way, but for a good couple of months, he was the #1 rated rusher on Pro Football Focus, and you saw the flashes from this guy. I put out a tweet just the other day where I was looking at a stat called success rate. I'm sure you guys are seeing on your screen right now, but basically Bill's first down success rate was better than the best rushing attack in the NFL, which was the Los Angeles Rams. And if you're winning on first down, you're setting up the offense to succeed, and you're setting up your team to win games. So they are giving this thing, they're turning the reins over to Bill. And the reason that I put the other young guys in the parentheses is because you also look around the roster. There's Quan Martin. I think they're still going to give him a shot to earn that starting safety position. Jordan McGee, he looks like he's going to have some opportunities on this team. Did they get Chigakonkwo? Yes, but did they go bring in someone else? No. So Ben Sinnott is still probably going to find ways to be out there on the field. Look at the receiver position, right? Luke McCaffrey right now is probably wide receiver 2. Jalen Lane is going to continue to get punt return work, and Luke's going to be on kick return. So opportunities for the young guys, but Bill kind of spearheading that group is what I would say.
Turn up the heat.
I mean, this is obvious, right? Come on. Look at who the signings were in free agency. Just run up and down the list. $100 million for Oweh. Sure, no problem. Rip that off, cash that check. You got it, my man. Leo Chenal, Chaisson, Charles Omenihu, Tim Settle even. Look at the players that they are bringing in. They are telling you what they want this defense to be without spending a second of time on the field together. Just by the players that they are signing, adding in the fact that you have a Frankie Luvu already, you have a Dorance Armstrong returning from injury, you have a Deron Payne whose specialty is supposed to be getting after the quarterback more so than stuffing the run. That's more of like a Tim Settle thing. Although Tim Settle had 5 sacks playing as like the 4th string defensive tackle in Houston the other year. So they want to get after the quarterback. Durante Jones is coming from Minnesota, and not that he wants to completely be Brian Flores. Of course, he's got a lot of heavy Mike Zimmer and Vance Joseph influence in him as well, but he's coming from a Minnesota defense that blitzed on 46% of plays. That's basically a coin flip on if they're bringing pressure or not. And when you consider the players that they have on the field, right? Frankie Luvu is best when he is moving downhill. They're going to put him back in his natural position. There's not going to be running the pole in Tampa 2. There's not going to be going side-to-side lateral stuff, having to cover in space. No, do the things that made you an all-pro linebacker. Get after the quarterback, crash down, tackles for loss on the running back. That's what makes him great. Same thing with Chaisson. Same thing with Oweh. Leo Chenal. You can move all these guys around. You can put them in different spots, and they have one job to get after the quarterback. Now, last season, the Commanders were dead last in EPA per play on passing plays where they did not generate pressure. And guess what? They were only 24th in pressure generated. So they were a bottom quarter team as far as getting after the quarterback. And when they did not get after the quarterback, they were the worst pass defense in the NFL. So Durante Jones might be new here. Some of these players might be new here. But Dan Quinn saw this play out as well. You have to get after the quarterback, and the Commanders are going to make that a point of emphasis for them moving into 2026.
Interior linebacker uncertainty.
With me having just spoken an awful lot about the front 7, and obviously that includes the linebackers, there's some uncertainty about where exactly the players are going to go. Because versatility is a strength, but it doesn't help when we're trying to close our eyes and picture what this defense will look like exactly. We know the style, we know the concepts. I've broken that down. I've done some film work on this channel before. Again, feel free to go check it out. The video is called something like, "This is what the Commanders defense will look like." It's pretty straight to the point. But when you close your eyes and you try to think, this guy is playing on the inside on 100% of plays. This guy is the green dot. This guy's in the middle of the field. Right now, Jordan McGee seems to be that guy. He's gotten great training, obviously, from Bobby Wagner and the coaches, and he's been working to this moment. But there is a very big difference from being a rotational linebacker to all of a sudden green dot guy never coming off of the field. Is Jordan McGee ready to take that snap? take that step, I should say, not that snap, take that step. Let's just pretend that this is the look, right? So Leo Chenal is the Sam, Oweh is your Jack, Luvu's your Will, and that leaves McGee, like I said, playing the Mike. That's a huge responsibility because Luvu, best getting after the quarterback. Chenal can do a lot of things. I think there's untapped potential with his coverage instincts, but he's great at disrupting the run and good at getting after the quarterback. So that's what you want him doing. Oweh, he's just a full-time pass rusher for the most part. Maybe every once in a blue moon, he'll drop back. But that really leaves one guy whose primary focus would be patrolling the middle of the field, and is Jordan McGee ready to take that step? There is a ready-made slot for Sonny Styles if the Commanders want it, because he is also very versatile. He could be someone who does end up playing in the middle of the field. Former safety, so he's got the coverage background. He knows how to occupy the middle of the field and stay and get in zone coverage, even man coverage. But he's great at fitting the run. And when he rushed the passer, he was actually just as effective as Arvell Reese was. So maybe Sonny Styles has a home in this defense, but the reason that I did put uncertainty about the linebackers is because we know the players, we know the talent, but it's where exactly are they going to line up? Who is going to be that green dot guy? Who is going to be the person who is really anchoring that linebacking core? That's what we're still waiting to see.
Ready to spend again.
Bargain bin shopping, AARP Adam, whatever sorts of monikers or nicknames or anything you came up with Adam Peters in the past, take that on your piece of paper, crumble it up, and yell BAM as you shoot it away into the trash can. I said that to make you mad. You can still yell Kobe if you want. I'm Sean Bam, though. 83. Wilt Bam Kobe. The Commanders tried to offer a lot of money to a lot of people, right? They didn't get Alec Pierce over the line, but he offered him $30 million a year. He offered a lot of money to Linderbaum and Dobbs, and he spends $100 million on Oweh. The Commanders gave out more money than any team in free agency, and they still have the second most cap space in the NFL. So that's why I say they aggressively gave out money, but they're ready to spend more because they have the cap space to do it. They could potentially trade back on draft night, get themselves more picks, still end up with a premium talent in the first round, and get a player that has a large contract that maybe a team out there is looking to get off of. But with the Commanders having $49 million in cap space, it would make sense for them because they're still looking to add quality to the team and they have the space to take on that contract. So Adam Peters, he's not, this 1 year does not define his entire legacy as the Commanders GM or anything like that. But the people who just want to say that he doesn't want to spend money or do any of this, it's just not true, and we have to let go of that because he did spend the money and he has the team in position to spend more. Look at the way the Odafe Oweh contract was structured. Look at the signing bonus that Laramie Tunsil got. All of that was done with a reason to spend money. So I don't know how many opportunities are going to be out there, and even if there are opportunities, doesn't mean they will come into fruition. But I would not count the Commanders out from looking to make another splash before you get to next season.
More off-seasons needed.
While I do recognize that this offseason was a pretty big success for the Commanders, doesn't mean that they're at the finish line. If this is like the tortoise and the hare, they've got to be the hare in terms of their speed while having the consistency of the tortoise because they're starting far behind a lot of other teams out there. Think back to the preseason, and I'm being serious here. I'm being 1,000% genuine. Look at the scores of the preseason games. You know what? I'll do it right now. I'll find the scores of the Commanders' preseason games because as prepared as I try to be for these videos, I didn't think to write them down. Game 1, New England Patriots, 48-18 loss. Game 2, Cincinnati Bengals, 31-17 loss. Game 3, Baltimore Ravens, 30-3 loss. So that is an aggregate score of 109-38. So they were outscored by 71 points in 3 preseason games. That is a clear and damning reflection of the lack of depth that was on this team. And in some positions, they're still working to figure out who the starters are. Quan Martin, whose name I mentioned earlier, I fully believe they're going to give him the opportunity to win the job. He did lose the job last season. So how's that going to go over? Is Jordan McGee the Mike? Okay, yes. And if he is, how does that go in year 1 for him? Is Mike Sainer still capable of playing outside full time? And is he good enough to be the CB2? And is Trey Amos good enough to be the CB1 if this team is really trying to get to where it's wanting to go to. I like Trey Amos. I do. This is not saying anything bad about him. It's a small sample size. We're still waiting to find out. The coordinators, Dorance Jones and David Blau, both first-time play callers. And while Jones has all the experience in the world, Blau has been an assistant position coach for a year and a half, got like 6 weeks of being the quarterback coach, and then all of a sudden he's the offensive coordinator. They've got some more expiring contracts coming up soon, big expiring contracts, and you have to wonder at this stage how many of Adam Peters' draft picks are actually in line to get second contracts themselves. There's still a lot to figure out with this team. So while they are moving in the right direction, they need more of these off seasons they just had, probably at least another 2 to 3 of them for this thing to really become sustainable and them to be looking at deep playoff runs every single year. So those are my top 5 takeaways from this Commanders offseason. Whatever thoughts you guys might have, throw them down in the comment section below. If you think I overstepped on one of those, if you think I'm missing something, let me know, please. Also, hit the like and the hype buttons if you enjoyed. And don't forget that when I get to 6,000 subscribers, or if I get to 6,000 before the NFL draft, that I am giving away the jersey of the Commanders' first draft pick. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and join the full Command Discord. Link to do so will be at the top of the description. That's going to do it for me here today. I will see you guys all on Monday unless something absolutely insane happens later today. But most likely going to see you all on Monday. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. I appreciate you all joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day.
Not a little,